1-800-569-9034 or get on the web, bnmtree.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
BNM Service brings you the forecast. Here's WCCO TV Chief Meteorologist Chris Schaefer.
A nice night tonight as we keep a clear sky, falling back to 50. So a mild start tomorrow. And it looks like our warmest day so far this year. Should have a high around 84. Now, it is going to get breezy, and there will be fire danger concerns, especially across western Minnesota. Thursday, finally, some rain showers. Should hit 75 in the afternoon before the rain arrives.
All right, thank you, Chris. It's sunny and 73. I'm Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Complicated world, simple place to understand it.
It's not brain surgery, people.
News Talk 830 WCCO. You're thinking about it. Jason's talking about it. There are no breaks on bold takes here. Buckle up. This is Drive Time with DeRusha. Tuned up and rolling thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, live from Minnesota's biggest microphone, here's Jason DeRusha.
And we will spend time on this, the 10-year mark since we all learned that Prince would never sing again. It's Drive Time here in Minneapolis, in Minnesota, all around the country, streaming live on YouTube, on X, on Facebook, and on your smart speaker. It's Jason along with Dan and Mark Fry. We start with a debate that I thought would have gone away. I thought people would have moved on, and I was wrong. And it has me rethinking what the right thing to do is about the Minnesota state flag. Last night, Elk River became the latest city to do what I think is an absolutely childish, pandering, ridiculous move to fly the old Minnesota state flag. I think that adults could move forward. Adults could say, there was a process, I didn't agree with it. There was a decision, I didn't agree with it. But this is the Minnesota state flag as passed by the legislature, signed by the government, and so let's move on. Instead, Elk River, St. Francis, Champlain, Ham Lake, Zumbrota, Columbus, North Branch, Detroit Lakes, Pine Island, Cross Lake, Babbitt, Wadena, Crow Wing County all have voted to say, nope. Mr. Mayor, tear down that flag. And down comes the new flag, and up goes the old flag. Should Minnesota scrap the new flag and start anew? 651-461-9226. Because I think all of these communities are choosing division. They are deciding that as a city, we are going to draw a line and say we're not like those other Minnesota cities. We don't like the new flag. It's woke. We didn't get to vote. Blah. We're flying the old one. You stay out of our business, St. Paul. To me, it's divisive. It's anti-Minnesotan. It's childish. And also, it's very popular. It seems to be very popular. Should we scrap the Minnesota state flag? Does it need a modifier? It is the state flag, whether you guys like it or not. But should we scrap it and start over? And if so, is there any way that people are going to be satisfied, or if we just started a tradition of saying we do not believe in one Minnesota, we do not believe in cheering for all of us as a state, we believe in making our little political statement, And we're going to do it no matter what. I'm going to let our first texter make their Somali flag reference, and then we can be done with that, because if you Googled it, that you're being an idiot. But I'll allow it. You're allowed to be an idiot. You're allowed to have a goofy opinion that is, I would say it's a socially acceptable opinion that actually masks your racism against Somali. So if that makes you feel better about being racist, congrats. To me, I think the people who are upset about this are more upset about sort of the woke idea that somehow this old flag that no one really cared about was taken away from us by woke. It's the same colors as the Somali flag, says another texter. We're not going to do this. We're not. Look it up. It's not the same color. Also, blue and a star is remarkably common on a flag. So don't be dumb. Texters, why not waste more money? It's what Minnesota does best. Jason, the flag should never have been rebranded in the first place. Elk River is A-OK. Yes, scrap the new flag, admit we made a mistake, and fly the only and original Minnesota flag. Dan is the quote-unquote old Minnesota flag, the only and original Minnesota flag.
It is actually neither of those things. The previous state flag was updated in 1983, I believe it was. It was in the 80s.
It was fairly similar to the one prior.
Right, but it wasn't the original, and it wasn't the only.
It certainly was not the original.
It's wrong on both counts.
A lot of vexillologists out there with a new interest in the state flag, because it's this perception that that no one asked us. Sheila in Kensington, you're up first. 651-461-9226. Do you think we should just scrap the new one and start over?
I personally love the old flag, but I don't mind the new flag. But when you were talking about how it's kind of that division thing, that certain people are taking one side for the flag and the other, I kind of believe it's just personal preference on, what they like. Because I'm definitely a Democrat, and I love the old flag. I really do. I thought it was a beautiful flag. And I struggle with the new one, but I want to be supportive.
Yeah.
It's that Minnesota nice thing. I don't know. But I
would say I expected that, like, whenever you change a symbol, right, it's going to take time.
Right.
Like if you change like the logo of Target, for example, or when Best Buy changed their logo, like it took a while for people to be like, I'm used to it now. So I guess I thought people would get used to it. But when you have local governments saying, nope, we're not going to fly the flag that is the Minnesota state flag. It just is.
Right.
To me,
I think you like it or not.
Yeah, I think your approach, like, I have no problem with people not liking the new flag. The design wasn't my favorite of the ones that were up for discussion. But
right, me either.
Also, like, moving on, I just think for local communities to be thumbing their nose at the official state flag is really depressing for the way we conduct ourselves today.
I 100% agree, but it's not surprising, is it? It's sad. It's just not surprising at all. Everything is just picked apart. But
it's true.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That would be the
100%.
fear, Sheila. Like if we went back to a new process, I don't see how there's any way that you would have a process that would end with, yep, let's have that same old flag. So if anything new is going to be the same train wreck, I bet.
Right. I agree. You're right. But I do like the old flag. I have to personally say I thought it was a beautiful flag.
That's totally fair. Thank you for calling. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Sheila. Let's go to Jeff in Sauk Rapids. Jeff, there was should we start over? I worry that like we're never going to we're never going to have any sort of agreement about this flag.
I agree with that statement. Starting over would be a big pain in the butt. The last one was, but personally, I still fly the old flag on the pole in front of my house.
Yeah.
I thought the new one was ugly. I didn't like it. And I said, I'm not taking down my old one and paying a nickel for a new one, period.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Now these government entities that make that decision, they can do that. They can do that. Me, as a private citizen, I can fly the Jolly Roger out there if I wanted to.
Yeah, I have no problem with regular people. Fly whatever you want. I think it's a little weird that people went out and purposefully bought the old flag when they never had any attachment to it, and now are flying the old flag as sort of a middle finger to Tim Walz and the Democrats. I don't really care for that, but my issue is more with cities sort of caving to angry residents on this instead of just saying, look, this is our state flag and we fly our state flag, period, end of conversation.
Well, as far as the city goes, or a school board, school district, the city councils vote, the school boards vote. As a private individual who refuses to switch, I'm going to say if they want to vote to keep the old one, they can do that. It's their business.
Yeah.
Is it giving somebody the middle finger? Well,
of course it is. Come on. Why you think that these cities, if the flag had like Donald Trump in the middle of the flag with the outline of the state of Minnesota and a big Trump head in the middle, and that was our new state flag, do you think any of these cities would be voting to keep the old flag up? I don't think so. I'm going
to say you're probably going to see a lot of firebombing if anybody pulls stuff like that.
Maybe so. Thanks, Jeff. 651-461-9226. Tons of texts on it. Tons of texts. So we'll share some of your thoughts on this. Should we start over? I mean, I'm not in love with the new flag, but I'm more upset about these individual cities voting to fly the old flag. I think it's so divisive and so selfish. Your reaction when we come back.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
When are you going to get out to J.H. & Sons at the Galleria in Edina? It's Jason here for my men's clothing connection. They are the experts. It is top of the line premium men's clothing right inside the beautiful Galleria inside Edina. Now, what do I love about J.H. & Sons? The clothing is unbelievable. You're going to find fabrics and designs from Italy, from America, from England, from all over the world. Beautiful men's clothing. If you need a suit for graduation time or summertime or fall weddings, you got to get there. They have a tailor right in the house, Dean, who even when you buy a button-up shirt, Dean will take it in or let it out or make it look great for you. That is rare. That is rare to find these days. Service, too. They'll make you feel special. Make sure you are connected with clothes that fit your lifestyle, fit your job, fit your date night. Go see Kevin. Go see Chuck. Go see Dean. Bryce. Experience the difference. It's worth it. Premium, yes. Quality that lasts. You better believe it. jhandsons.com. Gas prices are up, and Luther Kia of Bloomington can help you out. It's Jason from my Luther Kia of Bloomington team. I drive a Kia. I love it. Dan Dingman can guide you into a hybrid SUV getting more than 35 miles per gallon, or take a look at the plug-in and electric options. If you need the power of gas, I just test drove a Telluride third row, high-tech, affordable luxury. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com to see what's on the lot, or stop in at 35W and 494 and tell them Jason sent you.
It's Tiki Barber with 2 words any business owner wants to hear: extra income. Amazon Hub Delivery is looking for ambitious business owners in your area to assist with local deliveries. You get paid for each package delivered. Amazon Hub Delivery has no startup cost, no long-term contracts, and no delivery experience required. If you're a local business ready to assist with Amazon deliveries, sign up today at amazon.com/hub delivery. That's amazon.com/HUB delivery.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
When you're in pain, you need the Good Feet store. Don't waste another minute suffering from foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. You might feel the difference immediately.
I walked right into the Good Feet store and I tried the Good Feet Arch Support System, and my hip pain is gone.
The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to put your foot in the most ideal position, redistributing the body weight more evenly, helping to relieve pain and stress in the body.
That nagging pain in my lower back, gone.
The Good Feet store has over 350 styles and sizes to relieve your pain.
I've always had bad knees. I've had 6 surgeries and I could never do a knee bend. Now I'm working out and it's just wonderful.
Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
And Doug. There's nowhere I wouldn't go to help someone customize and save on car insurance with Liberty Mutual, even if it means playing in a football game. Boom! 42! You're going down, Doug! Oh, yeah? Your price on car insurance when you customize and save is going down. Hey! Limu? What are you doing on their team? Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Jason DeRusha.
One of the greatest human beings I've ever been around. He's just a wonderful human being. He's very caring. He's very loving.
Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
We're talking about more and more communities deciding that they are going to fly the old Minnesota state flag, not the new flag. I don't care if you in your front yard or over your garage or whatever, if you want to fly the old state flag, do whatever you want. I find it strange. But I do have a problem with cities deciding that they're going to pick and choose what flag they want to fly. How would you feel if Brainerd decided, instead of flying the United States flag with 50 stars on it, they want to fly the one with 48, or the old Union Jack? I like that one better. I thought that flag was prettier. We didn't get to vote on the 50-star flag. Yet these are the reactions on this case. And I do not understand why people can't just say, I don't like the process. It does remind me of the fact that when the Democrats had the trifecta, they sort of rammed things through instead of working together. I think that's valid feedback and criticism about the way the trifecta ran things. But to act like, well, why wasn't there a vote? Can you name one other thing in this state that they come and poll the audience on? I mean, that's just not how government works here. There was a committee. There was public testimony. There was opportunity to submit drawings, to submit designs. Do I think it would have been better if they would have had like some sort of online vote? Yes. Yes. Where people could weigh in? Yes. Do I think we would have this same over-the-top, ridiculous, politically motivated, crazy reaction? Yes, because we cannot help ourselves. But maybe some local city council people could say, look, I hear you. I don't like the new flag, but this is freaking Minnesota, and I'm flying the Minnesota flag at our city hall because we love this state. Doesn't mean we love the flag. It's because I think people don't love this state. They love their own political ideology even more. That is your greatest love. It's ridiculous. Gene is in Maplewood. Gene, thanks for listening and for calling.
Well, hi, Jason, and I love your producer too. I was going to say that the gentleman that called and talked to you before, I don't know what his culture is, nationality, but on the old flag there were some concerns about the Native Americans, and there were some concerns about the way that was, pictured. And so, I don't know if this guy is any Native. I am not. I'm 51% Swedish. But but the thing is, that's something that needed to be addressed. And I'm sorry, guy, if you want to put the old Minnesota flag in your yard, go for it. But to say, oh, well, we have, what's wrong? What's right with this new one? I don't care. To me, it's a flag. And you see these other state flags, and they're very plain. You see Texas or other ones, they're very plain. So just go with it, guys. Just get over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Gene. So many texts coming in. The new flag was not a democratic process. The whole thing was driven by the trifecta. I think a big part of the problem was the way it was handled. It felt like it was just forced on. If it was voted on, then people wouldn't be as upset. Another texter. Why can't cities decide? We, the people, were never asked or allowed to vote. So what all do you guys want to vote on now? So like if we pick a state song, everybody better vote. I mean, a flag is the most visible symbol of the state. Personally, I don't know. I don't find it that big of a deal one way or the other. I do hate the fact that if I chose to fly the Minnesota state flag right now, people would assign a political party to me. And I would like to just be able to fly the Minnesota state flag. I think these city councils are embarrassing. I really do. I am very understanding of you as a citizen, especially this soon after the new flag came in, choosing to fly the old flag. Fine.
Presuming you already were flying the old flag, the folks that have gone out and bought the old flag as a gesture of rebellion towards the state, that's just as silly as the local city councils. But you know what? There is no state law that requires city councils or local municipalities to fly the exact flag that is the current Minnesota state flag.
Right.
So if you want to waste your time with this nonsense,
fine,
knock yourself out. What I find interesting is why all the venom towards the flag, and we don't hear any of it about the state seal.
Yeah.
The state seal, apparently people are okay with. That got changed at the exact same time and is as different from the original as the flags are. And yet you don't ever hear people freaking out about that. It's always the flag.
Yeah. Most people like the new seal. And I think the reason that people don't freak out is because the new flag does look like sort of a hipster marketing experiment, right? Now,
like it was made in Canva?
A little bit. Now, I like the symbolism of the new Minnesota flag. And I know people are like, oh, it's just blue. But like the idea is this 8-pointed North Star on the left, the solid light blue on the right represents water. There's sort of a vague outline of the state in there as well.
You can't complain that the new state flag is just blue. The old state flag only had the one blue on it with the seal on top.
Yeah.
There's even less variety of blue in the old state flag.
Well, the old one had like
a blue background with the state seal on it.
It looks like the old one looks like it was drawn by a child. But like I think you can get into the artistic dispute, fine. But I think these cities are choosing They're choosing divisiveness. They're choosing to not be Minnesota. Texter saying people who are complaining have never seen the seal. They latched on the Somali flag thing.
Yeah.
Someone texted and said, I asked Google AI which flag most resembles the Somali flag, and it said the Minnesota state flag. I said, that's because everyone is saying this. And so that's what AI is.
And if that's going to be our authority now on questions like this?
A texter says, I did have a lot of input in this because I followed the process. If you didn't follow the process, then you didn't have any input. It was very publicized, the process. We had the chair of the commission on this show while they were doing their work. So I don't know. There was an online vote twice to narrow down the choices, another texter said. I don't know, man. Texter says the U.S. flag comparison is a poor comparison. Why?
That's just it. Doesn't say why at all.
I feel like I was pretty proud of myself. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was a great comparison. I just wish, look, we ripped the Minneapolis City Council for screwing around with stuff that is not important to their cities. And guess what all of these ding-dongs are doing and every other city council around this state? You are dealing with stuff that not only is not important to your community, it's maybe important to the loudmouths in your community, but it's dividing us as a state. And I think it's pathetic. 3:33. Let's break in just a minute. We have a little breaking news. A little breaking news on the Strait of Hormuz. We'll talk about that when we come back.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right, insurance is important. We know it is, especially this time of year where you start getting into more serious weather conditions. You want to make sure your home and your car is totally covered and taken care of. The Canopy Group has been taking care of my family's insurance needs for 3 years now. I reached out because I heard about them here on CCO. 800-967-3389 is the number. And what makes the Canopy Group different is that most of us, I don't know, if you're like me, you have one insurance agent representing one company. We went the same insurance guy that my mother-in-law had used because she lived here for 40 years. So we went the same insurance guy, nice guy. But every year I had to call back and say, like, can you get me a better deal? Is this the best deal out there? Every year I had to do it. Now, with the Canopy Group, they have 16 different companies at their disposal. So I reached out to one number one time. Kyle took my scenario, ran it through these 16 companies, got me the best coverage, the best price, saved me more than $800 a year on my home and auto insurance. And I never have to call and ask for them to check again. The Canopy Group just does it year after year. You know you've got the best coverage for the best price when you reach out at thecanopygroup.com or call 800-967-3389.
And now, News Talk 830 WCCO presents 20 Seconds of Zen. Because when you're well informed, peace of mind comes naturally. Clarity in a noisy world. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Little kids are so direct.
I have to go potty.
And so is Barufka's Furniture, because direct is the only way we sell furniture.
Barufka's everyday craftsman direct pricing is often lower than our competitors' sale prices.
We work directly with our builders, keep our overhead low, and work our tails off in order to offer the lowest possible prices. We don't believe in shipping containers, slow boats from Asia, or particle board construction. 95.67% of Barufka's furniture is built in the U.S.
Barufka's wood, stain, fabric, and leather choices, along with a team of designers eager to help you put it all together, results in a unique look that achieves your sense of style and decor.
When it's time
I have to go potty.
for something new for your home, see the Craftsman Direct difference at Barufka's.
No gimmicks, haggling, or hard-to-understand pricing in Woodbury, Burnsville, and Minnetonka.
Barufka.
Decidedly direct.
Mike Rowe here with a fun fact. Did you know that 50% of the air that you breathe inside your home comes from your crawl space? Yeah. Whether your crawl space is wet, musty, or your floors are bouncy, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys, and they're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to repair your crawl space. Innovative Basement Authority is now Groundworks. Schedule a free inspection.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Chad back here with you on CCO. I want to talk insurance and the group I have trusted for 30 years. Not just me, my father, my boys. We have been with Amber Scholl and Associates the entire time. They are with American Family, and trust is the right word. When something awful happens with your business or your home or your car, you need people who are available. You need individuals who have a team, and they've handled every situation. Amber and her team have done that. Let's be honest. Insurance rates are complicated. You need someone who knows this business in all ways, and I wouldn't be with Amber for 30 years unless I totally believed in her. Call today, 651-738-4811, and tell me you heard this spot from Chad on CCO.
Glint Hills Resources Pine Bend Refinery in Rosemont produces important transportation fuels used throughout the Midwest, but they're also active in the community. They support many programs and organizations that make Minnesota better. Go to FHR.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
I'm brought to you by Flint Hills Resources. Highway 52 northbound is closed at Plato Boulevard, resulting in an injury crash. Traffic is being diverted to and from Plato Boulevard, so give yourself some extra time there. And it's a Gawker slowdown as you come across the Lafayette Bridge heading down to Plato Boulevard. 35 east slows both directions between Highway 62 and I-94. Got your slowdowns placed traveling Highway 36, both directions there between Cleveland Avenue and Rice Street. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCL.
Get your home into the comfort zone with Metro Heating and Cooling.
Call Metro Heating and Cooling for a $109 air conditioner tune-up. Find out more at metroheating.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Metro Heating and Cooling bringing us the forecast. It's a beauty from Chris Schaefer.
Clear and quiet tonight as we cool back to 50. That's quite mild. And flat out hot tomorrow. Should be our warmest day so far this year. Mostly sunny with a high of 84. The wind is going to pick up. Fire danger will be high across western Minnesota. Showers and isolated thunderstorms arrive on Thursday. It stays windy and mild. Temperatures do cool back to near average this weekend.
78 and sunny in St. Paul. How about that here on CCO?
Drive Time with DeRusha, where the conversation's always in drive. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington on News Talk 830 WCCO.
When the ceasefire is back on, I wonder if some of the on again, off again, is this thing happening? Is it not? Are we at war? Are we not at war with Iran? I wonder if some of this has regular people kind of unplugged to this. Or am I just channeling the fact that I, even as someone who follows this for my job, feels a little like, I don't know, man, like, I guess let me know when we're done? The president just about 4 minutes ago said he was extending a ceasefire. And this was just hours before it was set to respond. The president announced this on Truth Social. So he said he was indefinitely extending the ceasefire, which was set to expire, I don't know, in a couple hours, I believe. President said Pakistan, which is sort of the mediator here, asked the U.S. to hold off on any attacks. So the blockade continues, but they'll extend the ceasefire essentially indefinitely. Now, this morning on CNBC, the president said, I expect to be bombing. The military is raring to go. And we heard Major Garrett talking about this with Chad. The fact that the president, just whatever he's saying about the war, whatever he's saying about anything, is always in flux and constantly changing. I wonder, like, how maybe taking the pulse of you guys would be helpful. 651-461-9226. How much attention are you paying to the war in Iran? Now, this morning, I drove from St. Paul to Maple Grove, and I was almost out of gas. And I noticed that gas was like $3.69. So we're close-ish to $4. I definitely am plugged in when it comes to the cost of stuff. It is interesting to think that, we had J.D. Vance go to Pakistan the first time for negotiations with Iran. He was only there for about 24 hours. He was supposed to go again for a second time, but that trip was put on hold. I just don't know. I don't know if people are as plugged into this. Is it because, and I think back to the initial attacks on Iraq, the Iraq War, Desert Storm, how, like, we were watching that unfold on television. And I don't know, is it because, like, we have so many choices? Is it because our attention span is so short? Is it because there are so many fires all around the country, around the world, that it's difficult to pick which one we're supposed to be worried about? I don't know. I don't sense the focus or the interest in this that maybe you would expect for the fact that the U.S. is bombing another country. And we have been mobilizing more and more troops to go over there.
I mean, I think obviously the truth of it is it's a little bit of all of the things that you mentioned.
Probably. I mean, the world is so different today than it was
what
then.
it comes back to for me is that most of us are able to go through life, many of us, maybe not most, many of us are able to go through life without this touching us in any real or meaningful way. And when you go back to previous wars, and I'm thinking back to even Vietnam or World War II, every community felt those wars in significant ways, whether it was a draft, whether it was manufacturing, however it was. I also think about, Michelle Tafoya's comments talking about the lack of, patriotic sacrifice. And I think that's sort of the same thing. I think it all kind of ties together. The reason that we're not locked into this, the reason that we're not feeling that draw to sacrifice in a patriotic spirit is because for most of us, the only, way that we're connected to this is, like you talked about, prices at the gas pump.
Gas price.
And here in Minnesota, we're fortunate enough that our refineries are close enough that this hasn't hit us as hard as it's hit other places. Not that it hasn't impacted us here. It definitely has. But when you look at what some other places are dealing with gas price, especially diesel price wise, we're not hit as hard here. And so without that impact, that's how you get 20 years in Afghanistan. That's how you get these ongoing wars overseas, because most of us, it doesn't really impact our daily lives in any meaningful way. And I don't know that it's anybody's fault. I just think it is what it is.
Texters at 651-461-9226. I'm with you. It's the worst reality TV show ever. Just tell me when it's over. Another texter saying, I'm paying attention, but Trump's word means nothing. Similar vibe. I guess technically I'm paying attention because I'm listening to you. But I don't bother seeking any news on it because our government is totally unreliable. Boy, is that interesting. I mean, we experienced that firsthand here during the immigration surge. That time and time again, the official story from the government was quickly proven to be a lie. Now, I'm not saying the Trump administration is the first federal or local unit of government to play fast and loose with the truth. I think they've done it in such a reckless way and so in a way that was so quickly proven to be false that it does make you skeptical and say, like, I don't know. Now, a couple texters pointed out that it is Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, he really needs to stop doing this on Tuesday. He's just sort of shooting himself in the foot rhetorically.
And taco stands for Trump always chickens out. Taco. So when the threat is we're going to start bombing, the reality is we don't. When the ultimatum is this, and then, well, we're going to give you a couple more days. Texter's adding, for me, the reason I'm not paying as much attention has to do with how many times the president changes his mind, sometimes in a matter of minutes. That and the endless 24/7 news cycle, recycling whatever he says. And I think that's interesting, too, where you say, like, what is my investment as an observer in this relative to what sort of knowledge am I going to get? It's pretty interesting. Another texter says, as a farmer, we are paying close attention, even though we're more insulated than most other countries. Yep. We'll weather the storm. The crazy thing, this texter says, is that only 20% of crude oil moves through the Strait of Hormuz, and the sky is falling. Yeah. Yeah, and here in Minnesota, I mean, 20% of any market that trades on a daily basis and that we use in everything is significant. But here, like our oil that we use in Minnesota mostly comes from Canada.
But it's a global market, and so the market reacts. And it's not just the oil, right? It's everything else that moves out of that strait.
Yeah.
So it has this huge ripple effect throughout. It's easy to look at it and go, well, it's not, 80% of the world's oil doesn't have anything to do with this. Why is this such a big impact? But it's the ripple effect of even that 20% that it has throughout the global economy that just screws everything up.
Now, Texter points out, saying, Jason, you're kind of conflicting yourself. I think it's a nice gesture on behalf of the president. I guess I haven't even expressed whether I think it's a good idea or a bad idea to have a ceasefire. I would say my gut is, yeah, like, let's get to a negotiated end. If we can have a ceasefire that gets to a better end of this, I'm all for it. All for it. It's the bluster. It's the we're going to bomb you off the face of the earth and then ceasefire.
I'm generally in favor of less killing of people.
Yeah.
So, in that regard, it's a good thing.
I'm in favor of the ceasefire. And, as always with President Trump, his staunchest supporters will say this is just part of the art of the deal.
Sure.
And maybe it will be. I think I've been the only one on this radio station to say that I do think America is safer with the initial attack that we did on Iran. I worry about the long-term effect. I worry about what the next government will be there, but I'm not losing any sleep over the Ayatollah. 350. Twins Ticket Tuesday today, by the way. Big giveaway for a Friday night game coming up. So make sure you keep listening when you hear that sounder. Be caller 3 and you'll win a 4-pack of tickets. I'll give you the details in just a minute.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
Spring is here, and that means home buying activity is hot. It's Jason here, and I know with more and more people out there looking for a house, you might be thinking, the open market sounds good. If I got to sell, I want to take my chances. But so many Minnesotans are saying, I don't want to deal with those headaches. And they're reaching out to my guy, my friend, Chris Lindahl at Chris Lindahl Real Estate. You know the arms wide out. You know the billboards. Maybe you've seen him all over the light rail train that he's got wrapped right now. Chris is an unbelievable marketer, very creative, very innovative, always trying to think of new ways to get you top dollar with the least amount of headaches. And so getting rid of your house has never been easier. ChrisLindahl.com. If you're in a position to sell a house, reach out to the website. They've got a free smart seller guide that'll help you decide, do I really want to deal with the uncertainty of the open market, or do I want one of those patented Chris Lindahl big red checks? More and more Minnesotans are saying, you know what? I don't need the open houses. I don't need the commissions to the agents. I don't need any of these headaches. What I need is a big red check. Find out what Chris Lindahl can do for you. Get to ChrisLindahl.com today.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Breaking news for your home. Wayday. Wayfair's big sale is almost here, and you can score the best deals in home, like up to 80% off everything home. Yes, you heard that right. 80% off with free shipping on everything. Plus surprise flash deals all Wayday long. We're talking outdoor furniture and essentials, rugs, and more. All at Wayfair, and all up to 80% off during Wayday. Shop Wayfair's Wayday from April 25th through 27th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement. Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
They look hot, they drive like a dream, and the value? You've got to get to Luther Kia Bloomington. It's Jason DeRusha. I just brought my Kia in for service there. It was such a great experience. My Kia's as good as new. Dan Dingman and the Luther Kia Bloomington team, just the best. From the 35 miles per gallon hybrid Kia Telluride and Sorento SUVs to the under $30,000 K5 sedan. Check out your dream car today at LutherKiaBloomington.com or stop in and tell them Jason sent you.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crash has Highway 52 northbound at Plato Boulevard still closed. We'll be closed for some time to get this accident cleared out of the way for you, but in the meantime, traffic using the ramps to and from Plato Boulevard to North 52. Southbound at Gawker, delayed in that area. Traveling 35E, get ready for slowdowns there. Highway 62 to 94. And 94 westbound into Minneapolis slows at Huron Boulevard. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
If you have trees to trim or need tree removal, call an ISA certified arborist. Call the CCO Land Company I use. B&M Tree Service, 1-800-569-9034. Or get on the web, bnmtree.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
B&M Tree Service bringing us the forecast tonight. We only get to 50 for a low. Tomorrow, 84. Hottest day of the year. Thursday, showers by afternoon, high of 75. Right now, it's 74 and sunny on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
We've been doing this for years. It's stupid. It is not what regular people care about. It's just like an absolute circus.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Let me give you a Continental Diamond time check from our friends at ContinentalDiamond.com. It is 3:57. Right there in St. Louis Park, locally owned, operated, built on trust and relationships. Just a great family-owned business. I love the team at Continental Diamond. So make sure you tell them that you hear me talking about them here on CCO Radio. Twins Ticket Tuesday, in effect. I do not know when Dan will play the Twins Ticket sounder. But when you hear it, caller number 3 gets a 4-pack to the Friday, May 1st game. Twins, Toronto, 7:10. Happy hour, $2 beers, including that fabulous Twins pills from Summit. $2 hot dogs, too, and snacks before the game. So get your tickets at twins.com, and we'll give away the 4-pack coming up. Lots. Oh, we have Twins on the air tonight, too. Pre-game at 5:30. Nice win by our Timberwolves last night, too. Wild, tied up. They're coming home tomorrow. Mark Fry's news straight ahead.
Jordana here for my friends at Mini Leaf. Hear what they're saying about this brand I love.
Tell me about your experience with the night gummies.
I started using them. I think this was my 3rd order. I heard Jordana on WCCO radio talking about it, and I thought, well, if she's doing it, trying to get off the Ambien, and I started with the pineapple gummies for sleep. That's what I take them for, is sleep. And I've been very pleased with the product. I started with the full gummy. Now I only take half, and that helps me sleep. So I'm very happy with the product, and I'm 70 years old. And those Sleep Night gummies will help her sleep painlessly through the night. Those Sleep Night gummies are a real charm. Check out Mini Leaf's products at MINNELEAF.com. Check out that Triple Diamond Pain Cream, those Sleep Night gummies, or their other great products. I use them. There's so many CCOers that absolutely love them. You will too.
Mini Leaf means quality. Taste happy at minileaf.com.
The home of Minnesota's best legal products.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
Proud to be the voice of the Twin Cities, Minnesota, and the Upper Midwest. This is News Talk 830 WCCO, 1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump says the United States is extending its ceasefire with Iran.
The president says Pakistani intermediaries have asked the U.S. to hold its attack against Iran until such time as, quote, their leader and representatives can come up with a unified proposal. Posting on social media, Trump also said he has directed the U.S. military to continue the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, while the U.S. will, quote, remain ready and able and will therefore extend the ceasefire until such time as their proposal is submitted and discussions are concluded one way or the other, unquote. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Just as the House Ethics Committee was about to discuss the punishment for Florida Congresswoman Sheila Sher-Phyllis McCormick, she resigned. The committee had found that she violated more than 24 House rules and ethical standards. Her attorney, William Barzee.
She was left with no choice. She could go along and allow them to just trample her constitutional rights and her due process rights. And instead of allowing that to happen, she decided to step away.
Sher-Phyllis McCormick also faces federal criminal charges, accusing her of stealing $5 million in COVID disaster relief funds. The Senate Banking Committee grills President Trump's nominee for Fed Chair, Kevin Warsh, during his confirmation hearing.
Warsh vowed he would maintain the Federal Reserve's independence.
Monetary policy independence is essential.
Massachusetts Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren wasn't buying it.
The Senate should not be aiding and abetting Donald Trump's illegal takeover of the Fed by installing his chosen sock puppet as chair.
Warsh says President Trump has never asked him to predetermine, fix, or decide on any interest rate decision. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Virginia residents are voting on whether to ratify a plan to redraw the state's congressional map. If the Democrat-backed referendum passes with a simple majority, it could increase the party's chances of flipping control of the closely divided U.S. House. Voter Corey Crouch.
I think just everybody counter-moving everybody is not the way to go. I don't think there's any bipartisanship much anymore.
After another close call over the weekend involving two Southwest Airlines planes that came within 500 feet of each other near Nashville's airport, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is asking for funding to modernize traffic control. It includes a push to upgrade old copper wiring in facilities.
It's going to take us time to develop it, deploy it, debug it, train on it. And so getting that software started now, hopefully as our build completes with all of the infrastructure.
This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Minnesota's trusted voice, every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Sunny and 74 degrees at 4:03. Good afternoon. I'm Mark Fry. A divided Minneapolis City Council has set a date for a final vote on a new pre-eviction ordinance.
The council will vote this Thursday on whether to approve giving renters a 45-day window to catch up on rent in the wake of Operation Metro Surge. This comes after a public hearing and an 8-5 vote by the Committee of the Whole to advance the ordinance. During the hearing, community members largely backed the extension. Ward 8 homeowner Ian Coldwater.
People really do need more time. Mutual aid organizers need more time. Renters need more time. And this is a win for landlords too, because at the end of the day, we're asking the question of whether or not the landlords are getting paid. And ideally, the landlords do get paid.
The decision follows a veto from Mayor Jacob Fry on a previously approved 60-day extension. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Minneapolis city leaders today outlining collaborative plans to increase safety and livability in the Uptown neighborhood. Mayor Jacob Fry says a comprehensive approach with social services, drug treatment, and law enforcement.
If one of those solutions is taken away, you ultimately have problems on your streets. And what we've found is that we need to be doubling down much further.
City leaders say Uptown is a vital economic and cultural engine for the city, and the increased safety effort will help keep the neighborhood safe and accessible for residents, businesses, and visitors. With weeks left now in the 2026 Minnesota legislative session, Governor Tim Walz is weighing in on top issues for him.
Governor Walz talking to reporters about the final days of the session and his time in office and the top issues he's focused on, including the creation of the Office of Inspector General to get ahead of fraud before it happens. He also addressed the $15 million price tag.
If you're going to set up the IG, you need to fund it accordingly. You can't do it on the cheap and underfund the number of people you have.
He says he will sign the bill if it reaches his desk.
All I care about is everything we do, if it reduces fraud and smooths legitimate payments to people who need it, because I will never back off of. We're not stopping these programs that improve people's lives, but we have to strike that proper balance.
Susie Jones, News Talk 830 WCCO.
And good news for the Minnesota Twins infielder Royce Lewis back with the team following a stint on the 10-day injured list. He missed the club's last 9 games with a left knee sprain. Played 2 games as part of a rehab assignment with AAA St. Paul. The team also announcing they're placing left-hander pitcher Cody Funderburk on the paternity list. The Twins have lost 4 games in a row, headed into a 3-game road series with the Mets, who have lost 11 straight games. Pregame tonight, 5:30 here on WCCO. It's 4:06. Traffic and weather next.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Crosstown eastbound, make way toward 100. Accident off to the right side. Traffic is slow between Tracy Avenue and Cedar Avenue. South 169 is jammed up. Anderson Lakes Parkway, head down to Old Shakopee Road. 52 northbound still closed at Plato Boulevard because of an accident with injuries. It looks like it's going to be a while before things are cleared, so get ready to use the ramps to and from Plato to North 52. East 494 is slow between Highway 62 and the River Bridge. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Jordana Green here. I pray you and your family are always safe. But if there's ever a time where you need an advocate after an accident, let Mike Bryant of Bradshaw & Bryant help you. He will work with and for you in dealing with the insurance company. Call 800-770-7008 today. Bradshaw & Bryant, seeking justice for the injured.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
The weather is brought to you by Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys seeking justice for the injured. You can find them at minnesotapersonalinjury.com. Here's Chris Schaefer.
A nice night tonight as we keep a clear sky, falling back to 50. So a mild start tomorrow. And it looks like our warmest day so far this year. Should have a high around 84. Now, it is going to get breezy and there will be fire danger concerns, especially across western Minnesota. Thursday, finally, some rain showers. Should hit 75 in the afternoon before the rain arrives.
All right, thank you, Chris. 74 and sunny. I'm Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Must hear stories, must hear events, must hear radio. News Talk 830 WCCO. Good questions. Topics you'll probably talk about at dinner. Places to go for dinner. This is the Ride Home Reimagined. Welcome to Drive Time with DeRusha. Thanks to Luther Kia of Bloomington. Now, here's Jason DeRusha.
Where were you 10 years ago when you found out that Prince had died? I can't believe it's been 10 years. To a certain degree, it's hard to believe that he's dead. I know where I was. I was on the news. I was on the anchor desk. I had finished our 9 a.m. show. It's just kind of a normal day. Did mid-morning over at WCCO TV. Was back at my desk. At 10 o'clock, was working on stuff. Probably answering complaint emails. I don't know. It's just a typical day. And then there was a report that something was going on out at Paisley Park in Chanhassen. And we didn't know all the details. We didn't know many details, but there was a large police presence at Paisley Park. And so I wasn't sent on the air at first. I believe it was Ali Lucci, our noon anchor. Might have been Kim Johnson. The 911 call happened at like 9:45. My question to you is, where were you? Do you remember finding out? And give me a Prince memory. Give me a memory or give me a favorite song. 651-461-9226. This all started kind of the night before. Prince was dropped off. And then this kind of one of Prince's business associates called this California doctor and said Prince was dealing with a grave medical emergency. Remember, there was sort of that circumstance with the plane that had to take like an emergency landing. I think that was 5 days before Prince died. And then he played a dance party at Paisley Park a couple days after that emergency landing. He went to a show at the Dakota. And so they called this musician in New York. I mean, it's sort of the craziness of how insular Prince's life was. That instead of getting him to the ER, you call this guy in New York who flies in to check it out, gets there at 9:30 in the morning. he was going to give this drug that was used in the treatment of opioid withdrawal. But at 9:30 in the morning, they couldn't find Prince, and then they found him in an elevator. And this guy from New York calls 911. They're like, "What's your location?" And he says, "We're at Prince's house." He was pronounced dead at 10:07 in the morning. I think we learned not that much longer after that, 10:30 or 11 that morning. And we were just on the air nonstop, of course. What I don't know if we knew at that moment was the fact that 10 years later, how big of a global impact Prince would have. And the fact that people come to Minnesota from all around the country and all around the world just to get close to Prince, to take what has been called the Purple Trail. New York Times just did a story about the Purple Trail, to go visit the murals, to visit First Avenue, to visit the restaurant that is run by his former catering chef, or the Cheesecake Funk, which is run by another woman who worked out at Paisley Park, and she's got a cheesecake that Prince loved. Let's go to the phones, where we're going to listen to St. Paul Peterson, legendary musician, was in the movie Purple Rain. He joins us now on CCO. St. Paul Peterson, you got to remember where you were when you found out.
Absolutely. I was running a music college in the old Flight Time Studios in Edina called Minneapolis Media Institute. And I was just about to teach a class, and somebody came up to me and said, "You've got to come and see this. Somebody's found dead at Paisley." And we didn't know who it was yet. And then my phone started blowing up, and we found out that it was Prince, and we were just devastated, as you might imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I was only there for a short amount of time in the Paisley family, it was super impactful, and it was just a terrible, terrible thing to hear.
You were about a teenager, right? When you first, I don't know if it's accurate or complete anyway to say that Prince discovered you, but he did discover the talent that you had as part of a very talented musical family, right?
He was my first big break. There's no doubt about that. Back when I had just graduated from high school, I was lucky enough to get an audition in More Stay in the Time to replace Jimmy Jam, who I just got off the phone with. He's out here as well. And long story short, I passed the audition, and that was the first day I met Prince.
Crazy, right? To think back at that era and how young you were, and to think, at that time you knew the talent of Prince, but I don't know, would you have guessed at that moment the way his music would endure and be so global in impact?
I don't think anybody, including he, well, actually, I should say that he probably visualized the whole thing, but I was so young and green. I was just hanging on for dear life and, trying to fit into this new situation I found myself in. I never, ever thought that this movie would be anything other than a elongated music video, if you will. But, obviously I was dead wrong.
Yeah, just crazy to watch sort of how Purple Rain has been so meaningful. And now, where are you at 10 years later, 10 years of knowing that he's gone? As you mentioned, I think everyone in the Prince sphere would describe their relationship with Prince as complicated. Right? Is that the word?
I think that's an excellent word. Yes.
Yeah. It's to me, it's still startling that it was 10 years ago, because it feels like it was yesterday. But also, I have been blown away at the fact that people from all around America and all around the world make that pilgrimage to Paisley Park and to Minneapolis to get close and be a part of what was transformational for music.
For sure. And Jason, as I'm sitting here talking to you, I'm in a hotel overlooking Grauman's Chinese Theater, where the premiere for Purple Rain was 41 years ago. And we got to this hotel last night, and what was outside our window but the premiere for the Michael Jackson movie. So to this day, those two collide, and it was amazing to see. And now tonight we'll be doing this benefit for Glam Slam and Live for Love Foundation at the W Hotel with many, many alumni from the Prince camp. Not enough. I wish we could get all of us together, but it's just crazy 41 years later that he's such a force still, not only in Minneapolis, St. Paul, but throughout the world.
Favorite song? Do you have a favorite song, Paul?
Probably Nothing Compares to You, because he originally wrote it for the band that I was the co-lead singer in called The Family. And we were the first to record it way before Sinead O'Connor. So that song changed my life, and it's probably the most perfect song that I think he's ever written.
St. Paul Peterson, always love talking with you, and thank you for spending a little time with us today.
You betcha. Thanks, Jason.
651-461-9226. Tons of texts coming in. We'll take your calls and hear your Prince memories. 10 years since the day that Prince died at Paisley Park in Chanhassen. Your thoughts as we continue here on Drive Time.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
All right. Is this your moment? Your moment to live your best life. It's Jason for Livia and Livia Weight Control Centers. Livia changed my life. 45 pounds gone and gone for good. Think of what it could do for you. Today, Livia combines the medical side of things with GLP-1s, which, of course, have changed thousands and thousands of lives. They've got incredible award-winning nutrition, which changed my life. That 45 pounds I lost in 2022, it's 2026. I've kept that weight off all these years. And then they've added in hormone therapy, because for so many people, you can feel stuck. And hormone therapy, hormone replacement therapy can be a game changer too. Let Livia and you work it out. Have a conversation. What is the best path for your life, for your schedule, for your needs, your goals? Livia can make you feel your best. GLP-1 starting at just $99. Nutrition at $19 a week. Think of how much you're going to gain by losing that weight. Livia.com or 855-GO-LIVIA.
You know when your air conditioner chooses the hottest day of the year to quit? Yeah, that's exactly what a proper tune-up helps prevent. At Metro Heating and Cooling, our complete professional AC tune-up is just $109, because we do more than the bargain guys. We inspect the system, test performance, clean critical components, and catch small problems before they turn into expensive breakdowns. So before the heat really hits, protect your comfort, your wallet, and your family. Call 214-304-7658 now and schedule your 109 AC tune-up with Metro Heating and Cooling. Done right the first time, so you stay cool all summer long.
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Gas prices are up and Luther Kia of Bloomington can help you out. It's Jason from my Luther Kia of Bloomington team. I drive a Kia. I love it. Dan Dingman can guide you into a hybrid SUV getting more than 35 miles per gallon, or take a look at the plug-in and electric options. If you need the power of gas, I just test drove a Telluride third row high-tech affordable luxury. Luther Kia of Bloomington.com to see what's on the lot, or stop in at 35W and 494 and tell them Jason sent you.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
I can eat my dinner in fancy restaurants, but nothing, I said nothing can take away this blues. 'Cause nothing compares to you.
The original St. Paul Peterson. Always appreciate him listening and calling in. So many reactions pouring in from you guys. 10 years since the death of Prince. Dave in Stillwater, I'm a chef, busy lunch line. 2 of my cooks start crying. Another texter, I actually worked for Prince for 6 years back in the early 90s to mid 90s, and I've got a ton of stories. But I did wreck his car. So that's not what I usually remember on the good side, but hey, it is a memory. I mean, wrecking Prince's car, it's not pretty good, but it's pretty good. You know what I mean? Let's go to Paul on the CCO Talk and Text line. Paul, your Prince memory?
My Prince memory, Jason, is we're sitting in my law office early morning in December 1984. A phone rings. I don't answer it. It rings again. I answer it. It's my friend Jim saying, Paul, they just opened up a second show for Prince. I said, oh, my God. Oh, my God. He said, yeah, tickets go on sale at 8. I said, I got to go to court. Are you going to get them? Oh, sure. I said, yeah, make sure you get like first in line in the queue. He did. We had seats 4 rows from the stage to see Sheila E. and Prince. But I have this memory, Jason, in my brain for the rest of my life. He was singing the song, I Will Die For You. And I was looking up right at his face, and he turned and he smiled at me. And I thought, oh, there's got to be really good looking women on either side of me. I looked, and his smile got bigger, but he looked me right in the eye. I will never forget that. And that show and the choreography of Sheila E. and the musicians. Yeah, it's the number one concert. I've gone to a lot of concerts. Recently, Dua Lipa in LA, Lady Gaga Friday night. I could talk forever. That's the number one show I've ever seen in my life. And actually, I'm getting kind of teared up talking about it. Yeah. With the 10-year anniversary and that memory in my mind. Yeah. But it was just wonderful.
That's magical. Thank you for sharing that with us, Paul. Let's go to Mary in White Bear Lake. Mary, 10 years.
Hi, Jason.
Thanks for listening. Go ahead.
When we heard the news about Prince, we were in Hawaii at a Hard Rock Cafe restaurant having lunch, and he found that one of the waiters found out we were from Minnesota. So from there on, they played all Prince music.
Oh, yeah. Pretty cool.
Now, I have to tell you, this happened to me late 70s, early 80s. I was making a delivery out in Eden Prairie, I think. And the address was an old Michelin tire building. And I drove up to the building, and I had to drive around to the back of the building to get into it. So I loaded all the stuff, my equipment on, and I was bringing it into this building, and it was empty. It was like a warehouse. And it was all dark except for one corner. There was like a glass enclosed place, like a little room. So I'm looking at this room, and there was a guy in there with headphones on, and he was singing. And I'm like, is that? Oh my gosh. So I'm walking closer to him, just watching him. And from behind, one of his bodyguards came up and questioned me, how did you get in here? What are you doing? And I'm like, is that? And he said, yes, it is. I said, oh my gosh. And he said, you cannot tell anybody because his fans keep driving him away from every time he's trying to record. His fans are driving him away. I said, I won't say a word.
Wow.
I was so excited. And then a few years later, we went to a Prince concert, and it was the best concert ever.
Mary, thank you. Jan in Greenwood. 10 years since the death of Prince. It's crazy, isn't it?
Very. I live about 6 miles from Paisley Park. And he used to have, he called them like pop-up concerts.
Yes.
So you could go down there, and I think it was like $20 and see a whole concert of Prince down there for $20.
Crazy, right?
Right. And then sometimes he goes, well, if you guys aren't tired, he'd rent out the whole Chanhassen movie theater. So he'd invite anybody out from Paisley to go to watch a movie down there. And he always played Finding Nemo was his favorite. And as soon as you walked into Paisley Park, he would have Finding Nemo on a big screen in his front foyer. It was fun. It was so much fun.
Jen, thank you. Some of that childlike aspect of Prince for sure. Dan, we were talking before about some of the memories and the memories that you had.
There's so many good ones out there. I mean, two that popped to mind right away, obviously, are his Hall of Fame performance when they were honoring, now I'm blanking on the former Beatle, George Harrison.
Yes.
And he was doing While My Guitar Gently Weeps. And I go back and I watch that video all the time, but you watch the band member that's doing the initial solo and he's pouring his heart into it and doing his thing. And then Prince comes on stage and does his solo and just melts everybody's face off in the audience. It's just so you forget what a brilliant guitar player he is above everything else. So that's obviously a big one. Everybody goes back to the Super Bowl too, and Purple Rain in the Rain, and that's iconic. But there was another part of that Super Bowl performance that hit me, and I'll play a clip from it here.
Outside in the cold distance, a wildcat dig ground. To ride it with approaching, and the wind began to howl. I ain't gone in on to someone new.
So he's doing Watchtower, right, which is a classic, and blends that seamlessly with Best of You by the Foo Fighters. And I was a huge Foo Fighters fan at that point, and I'm sitting at home, my jaw is literally on the floor. Because you don't generally, with Super Bowl halftime shows, see the bands do covers. So that was different. And then to have him do those two blended seamlessly together to me was just, I literally am getting goosebumps right now thinking about it. It's so cool.
I think that Super Bowl moment is, obviously in Minnesota, we always point to that as the greatest Super Bowl of
we do
all
too,
time.
but I mean, you read any national ranking.
It's always top 10, top 5.
Most of them I've seen, it's number 1.
Yeah, it was incredible. Texter's favorite story. Her coworker, Deb, was in the crowd in Purple Rain, but didn't get the dress code memo and was getting chewed out by a producer. And then Prince stepped in because saw it going down and put her in a fly, all white outfit. And so Prince sort of solved that issue. Judy in St. Paul's first date with her husband of 36 years was the world premiere of Purple Rain in Minneapolis, July of 1984. Forever Attached. this song and this artist with that memory. It's pretty cool. Another texter was 15 when Prince passed away and going to Chanhassen High School. Still remembers the hush coming over the cafeteria as everybody was getting ready for classes, and word started to spread quickly that he was dead. And he remembers kids older than me going to their cars and leaving. Yeah. I still maintain that the biggest thing Minnesota could do to revitalize our downtowns would be a Prince museum. I know we have Paisley Park in Chanhassen, but I think people are hungry for Prince and Dylan, and especially Prince. And if you built some sort of Prince museum in downtown Minneapolis, people would come. People would come. The formal celebration here will be in June. Let's break. DeRusha Eats coming up in just a couple of minutes. A local chef bringing back a restaurant that so many people loved, Saffron. How you can get a first taste of it before the restaurant opens. Plus, is he going to try to get a Michelin star? Sameh Wadi joins us in just a minute.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
We're gonna win, Twins, we're gonna score.
I solemnly swear that I will listen to News Talk 830 WCCO all day, every day. Hey, I'll listen before I even leave the house.
I'll listen while brushing my teeth.
I'll listen in the shower.
I'll listen to Jason DeRusha's whole show twice.
Well, I'll listen in 2 rooms at the same time.
I will listen in 3.
I'll teach my dog to listen. Ha!
My dog already prefers Benita's Sawcar.
I'll podcast it in my sleep.
I won't just listen. I'll take notes.
I will legally change my middle name to WCCO.
Okay. We do want you to listen longer, but it's not a competition. Or is it? News Talk 830 WCCO.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-909-9696. 800-909-9696.
It's deck days at Lowe's, and the savings are stacked. Right now, pros get 15% off all in-stock composite decking from top brands like Trex, TimberTech, and Decorators. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt tool. The deck's stacked in your favor with brands pros trust. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
The one real estate agent that really gets results, John Schuster of the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Realty. Paul joins us now. What was your experience like working with the Schuster Group?
We had heard a number of their radio spots on WCCO, and we also attended John and Paul Douglas's home selling seminar. Tim and Abby Lehman came out and met with us.
How were they?
I have one word, and that's exceptional. They went above and beyond our expectations. We put our house on the market on a Thursday morning, and within 48 hours, we had 7 offers. We were able to fortunately sell our house for over $50,000 over ask. John and his team deliver exactly what they say they're going to deliver. You know, I truly think the people that have your best interest in mind. If we had to do this all over again, there's only one phone call I would make, and that'd be to the John Schuster Group.
952-222-9000 online, johnschustergroup.com.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
For one day, if you could ensure our neighbors facing hunger have full plates, how fast would you get to work? Together, we can make it happen. During 24-hour harvest, every dollar you give gets us closer to 1 million meals and can be matched to double your impact. Visit Second Harvest Heartland at 2harvest.org/24 to donate.
Financial literacy. It's amazing they don't teach it in school. Listen to the Investing with Confidence show every Sunday at 11 p.m. and join us for a free investing class by texting the word investing to the number 210-210. Take action today and make a change for tomorrow. Text the word investing to the number 210-210 today.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
We're still working on the crash for Highway 52 northbound at Plato Boulevard. As a result, the highway is currently closed at that point. Traffic using the ramps to and from Plato to North 52, so get ready for delays in both directions right now. East 94 slows pretty much right from Franklin Avenue into downtown St. Paul. 35 east slows both directions between 36 and 94. And if you're traveling Highway 100 northbound, get ready for some slowing to come up from 50th up to 394. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
You sit on your deck and you're sick of looking at your crappy siding. Type JTR on your computer for roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and more. JTR Roofing has you covered from the roof on down, serving the Twin Cities Metro. For a free estimate, visit jtrroofinginc.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
All right, weather is brought to you by JTR Roofing. Here is Chris Schaefer.
Clear and quiet tonight as we cool back to 50. That's quite mild. And flat out hot tomorrow. Should be our warmest day so far this year. Mostly sunny with a high of 84. The wind is going to pick up. Fire danger will be high across western Minnesota. Showers and isolated thunderstorms arrive on Thursday. It stays windy and mild. Temperatures do cool back to near average this weekend.
It's warm in downtown Minneapolis, 75 degrees and sunny. Congrats to Cynthia in Minneapolis for winning those Twins tickets on Twins Ticket Tuesday here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha
This sounds like torture to me.
on News Talk 830 WCCO.
DeRusha, he has the eats.
Nobody brings you the Twin Cities restaurant scene like your favorite foodie. Now, Jason explores some of the great chefs, owners, and stories right in our own backyard. Drive Time now transitions into DeRusha Eats.
And DeRusha Eats is brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. Our guest today rose to fame as a chef and owner of the restaurant Saffron. He was young in those days. What happened, Sameh Wadi? You were so young.
You were just saying nice things. We get on air and you just start roasting me within 3 seconds. I love this.
You know, nobody wants to hear the nice interview, do they? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Saffron is coming back. You have a location. You've been doing little pop-ups, big pop-ups that people can have a chance to get a first taste of some of what you're working on. But before we get into that, tell us where you're at with the rebirth of Saffron, because you have opened a couple other restaurants in the middle. You and your brother, they're doing very well, right? Milk
World
Jam.
Street Kitchen and Milk Jam. Yeah, World Street just celebrated 13 years. Milk Jam is 10. I don't even know how those numbers are real. I mean, it's just kind of crazy to me that I've been doing this for 20 years and I'm 28. So,
Right.
It's
Hard
kind
to
of crazy.
believe. You were such a young. Well, that was sort of the bit when you opened Saffron. People
Yeah,
were
I
like,
was 23 when I opened Saffron. And we've been in business for 20 years on our own, signing checks in Minneapolis. And it's just been kind of an insane journey. And to bring back a restaurant that we closed 10 years ago is kind of a wild move, but we're kind of feeling really good about it. We feel like it's a restaurant that is really important and has been missing from our dining scene. And so we're super excited about it coming back. It's kind of like that first love that you have and you're like, oh, I can actually kind of reignite that flame. Like,
Mm.
all right, let's do it.
Are you feeling that way as
Oh,
you've been?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. You know, it's really funny because I feel like that restaurant was just not only just an important restaurant for me in my culinary career, but it was like important for me in my own personal identity. And closing it came at a perfect time that just kind of let me do other things other than Middle Eastern food. And then I kind of just came back home to those flavors that were like the comforts, those flavors that remind me of my childhood, that just brought so much, kind of centerness to me.
Mm.
It was just like that was the food that I kept gravitating more towards. So
Did
it
you
just was natural.
Did you feel like at the conclusion that you wanted to prove that you could do other things, or that?
I think I was like, in my mind, I was so young. I was 23 again, like baby, right? In 10 years of doing that, you start to feel like, oh, I'm being pigeonholed into just being like a Middle Eastern chef cooking Middle Eastern food. And I'm like, I have all these other things that I want to try and want to do. And World Street Kitchen is like inspired by international street food, and it's sort of like cooking without borders. And there is like no rhyme or reason as to how we cook. It's just big, bold flavors that are just like harmonious together. And then Milk Jam comes in, and that's like chef driven ice cream where we make different flavor profiles that are either comforting or like, kind of relate to the season, like or kind of just pull inspiration from a million different ways. But Saffron was like a singular lane. It was Middle Eastern Mediterranean food, and that was it. So I needed that little bit of like, untetheredness to get back and be tethered by something that was actually really important to me.
Saffron is still the name of the restaurant.
As far as I know.
It's not going to be like Saffron 2.0.
No, it's
just
Saffron. Yep, Saffron Restaurant.
Won't be exactly the same.
It won't be. That's actually a really beautiful thing, that I feel like nothing is exactly the same as it once was. And that is something that we're trying to like really celebrate with this restaurant, is that it has the same DNA, but I've changed. The way that I cook changed, and all of these things have changed. And so we're kind of excited. And also there's a really important big part of this new restaurant is that everything will be cooked with live fire. So everything is cooked with wood or charcoal. And so naturally, everything is going to be tasting differently than what it was in the original Saffron.
Some of that is because of the space.
The space itself, yes. So we have these beautiful ovens that we've inherited that are wood burning ovens, and
it's the former Young Joni space.
Exactly.
If people know that in Northeast Minneapolis.
Such an iconic, very beautiful space, and such an iconic restaurant that really helped put that neighborhood on the map, and sort of it did a lot for Minneapolis, and we're just so lucky to be able to carry that torch on.
I think that space is going to be perfect for you, and the fact that you've got the fire does open up some opportunities for some of the ways that you've been cooking. I mean, you haven't stopped cooking this style or this kind of food. You've been doing private events.
Yes.
You've been doing just dinners for friends over fire, but you've been creating food over fire for as long as I've known you.
Yeah, forever. This is like really kind of like, while everybody's looking forward, I'm looking backwards in terms of what does Middle Eastern food look like, and what are some of the pillars of that food. And it's cooking over a live fire. That's what my ancestors did. And so therefore it just made sense for me to do that. I mean, that comes with its own challenges. I feel like obviously, when you're cooking with live fire, you have to just kind of like let the thing do its thing, and you can't rush it. It just burns at its rate, and you just have to kind of move things along and be creative with it. And that's why we're doing these pop-up dinners, and I've been so excited about getting into that space and cooking and using these elements that I haven't really used in a professional setting that much, so everything is touched with fire. And so that is kind of like a beautiful thing.
These are called Beiti.
Beiti, yeah. Beiti, which means my home.
Beyti, Beiti.
Yep, and means my home in Arabic. And it's basically a menu that I would cook at home. The first pop-up that we did last month, and you were at that one. Maybe you're
I'm coming this week.
Next one. Yeah. So I've been drinking all day. Sorry, guys. So for those that know me, probably think that that's a not funny joke because I don't actually drink. But
Right,
anyways, no. So the first one was like inspired by my grandma and my mom's style of cooking, which was just like comfort food. This one is inspired by my travels. So like there are certain dishes that I brought back with me from different locations that I've had, kind of like a time and a place, a memory that I built. And all of these are kind of coming into the menu at Saffron. And just naturally, as we're kind of like writing the menu for these pop-ups, it just kind of brought itself together into these thematic, kind of menu interpretations of what this is. So like I'm super excited about them being a reflection of where the restaurant is headed. It's not like a fully buttoned up thing of what you're going to expect from the restaurant, but it's you get to see like a peek behind the curtain of how a restaurant operation actually works, because it's raw, it's unedited. You come in, you sit down with strangers and you're breaking bread, and by the end of it you're friends now.
Sameh Wadi is with us. Beatty is the pop-ups, and you'll do those until you open the restaurant. You can find out about, there's one Thursday and Friday this week at saffronmpls.com. When do you think you're going to open?
This year.
This year?
Yeah, I'm
now,
super
when
hopeful
you
and
say
very
this,
excited.
When you say this year, you came on my DeRusha Eats podcast like 47 years ago and told me you were going to open this year. And then
lied
it took
to you.
like 3.
I lied to you.
Such a lie. Like my editors at Minnesota Monthly are like, when is Sameh going to open that place? I'm like, I don't think it's going to be this year.
Yeah, I
don't think it's going to be next year.
But it will be this year. Now we have a space. We are starting construction soon.
So November, December, probably.
I don't know. We'll
don't
see.
know.
It'll be this year, though.
All right.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right, let's break. When we come back, I want to ask about Michelin coming to Minneapolis.
Ooh.
Does Sameh Wadi want to give it a run and try to get a Michelin star? We'll get an answer to that question when we continue DeRusha Eats here on CCO.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Last night I left work and it was like, all right, we're cooking dinner tonight. And I stopped at the grocery store on the way home in St. Paul. And when I got home, my wife is like, do you only buy Minnesota pork? Like, Alyssa, tomorrow we have DeRusha Eats brought to you by the Minnesota Pork Board. I better get a dang pork chop. We have pork a couple times a week at the DeRusha house, and I am so honored to be able to support the good people of the Minnesota Pork Board. 3,000 family farmers every corner of this state, and yes, I am going to bring home a pork chop, or maybe a pork tenderloin, or maybe some bacon or ground pork. Many, many ways you can enjoy lean, high-protein, delicious Minnesota pork. If you need recipe inspiration, I'll be honest, I went sort of lazy last night. My grocery store had already pre-seasoned, ready-to-rock pork chops, so we just threw that sucker in the air fryer. 10 minutes later, we were good to go. TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com. They've got all sorts of recipes and inspiration to make your dinner quick, easy, high protein, and delicious. TasteWhatPorkCanDo.com. Get some Minnesota pork for dinner tonight. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Jordana, I'm Brian. I'm 58 and single. I have a house, a bunch of investments. I have a sister I'm close to, but no kids or anything tying me down, so I never really worried about planning for the future. Recently, a friend of mine passed away unexpectedly without a will or a trust, and it created a huge mess for the family he left behind. I don't want to be a burden on my sister. I want to be prepared. So why should I choose Gutman Law?
Hi, Brian. Your instincts are correct. If you were to do nothing, the state would decide who's in charge and how to distribute your assets, which is probably not what you want. And your sister will have a lot to sort out by herself. Now, this is the reason why I chose Gutman Law. My family, Matt and Jamie, were so sensitive to the nuances of my situation after a divorce. An estate plan is more than just names and numbers on a piece of paper. It's family. Making it easy on them is what matters most. From healthcare directives to wills to living trusts, Gutman Law can help you determine what type of planning makes sense to protect you and your loved ones. 612-895-1616 or go to mnestatelaw.com. Gutman Law, giving you peace of mind today for tomorrow.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Don't Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch support system is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
If you're carrying a lot of credit card or personal loan debt, every month can start to feel the same. All those bills, all those due dates, all that stress. There's a solution that's designed to make it easier for you. National Debt Relief could put you on the fast track to paying off your credit card debt, personal loans, and even medical debt for less than you owe, with just one low monthly payment you can afford. And no, it's not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. It's a real, affordable debt relief program that could save you lots of money. National Debt Relief has already helped over 1 million people with their debt and has thousands of 5-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. So if you owe $10,000 or more, don't wait. Call 800-300-4411 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-300-4411. One call could help reduce what you owe and simplify your monthly payments. Call 800-300-4411 now to find out how much you could save.
They look hot, they drive like a dream, and the value? You've got to get to Luther Kia Bloomington. It's Jason DeRusha. I just brought my Kia in for service there. It was such a great experience. My Kia is as good as new. Dan Dingman and the Luther Kia Bloomington team, just the best. From the 35 miles per gallon hybrid Kia Telluride and Sorento SUVs to the under $30,000 K5 sedan. Check out your dream car today at LutherKiaBloomington.com or stop in and tell them Jason sent you.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
And the commute's a little bit sluggish over on Highway 52 with this injury crash. North 52 at Plato Boulevard. North 52 is currently closed at Plato Boulevard using the ramps to and from to go off Plato and 52 northbound. Expect slowdowns through the area, obviously, and southbound, a bit of a gawker slowdown. Slowdowns place South 35W, 106th Street. You head down to Burnsville Parkway, traveling north 100. Got some slowing there. It's coming from Highway 62 to 394. USPS Ground Advantage, reliable route. That's going to be East 94. Looking good right now as you make way past Mounds Boulevard, heading out to Radio Drive. Jerry Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Right now for the month of April, Lindus Construction offering free installation on labor on GAF asphalt shingles and those great Leaf Guard brand gutters. Just call 844-9-LINDUS, LINDUS, or lindusconstruction.com.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
Lindus Construction bringing us the weather forecast. Tonight, the low is 50. Tomorrow, 84. Thursday, 75. Chance of showers, maybe isolated thunder by the afternoon. I'll tell you where I'm going as soon as our show is done. In 40 minutes, little Twins pregame at 5:30. I'm heading over to the Minneapolis Club. Just up the street, downtown Minneapolis. Great place for people to gather, hang out. And you don't even have to be a member to go to Charlie's to have a drink at the bar. It'd be kind of weird if you heard this and then come sit next to me at the bar and be like, hey, you told me to come to Minneapolis Club. But I like an awkward encounter, so if anyone's down for it, I'll buy you a drink. Am I allowed to do that? Why not? Minneapolis Club, we appreciate their support. DeRusha Eats continues now.
This is Drive Time with DeRusha on News Talk 830 WCCO.
She knows what I think about.
Chef Sameh Wadi is with us. Saffron will open sometime this year in Northeast Minneapolis. World Street Kitchen. I think World Street Kitchen is one of the more underrated restaurants in the Twin Cities. I think it's just been around so long that people forget just how good it is. Milk Jam Creamery, it's ice cream weather. Although you open that thing in December or in the winter.
In January.
January, that's right. Beatty are the pop-ups. So if you want to tell your friends you get the first chance to go to Saffron, you can. And they're doing it in the back bar at the new Saffron location. So all of that is at saffronmpls.com. And you can see the info on the pop-up. There's still some tickets available for Thursday this week. Okay, Michelin coming to 6 cities sort of in the Midwest. Does Sameh Wadi want the chance to earn a Michelin star?
I don't.
You don't?
I really don't.
Why not?
I feel like it's kind of a double-edged sword where it adds extra pressure and extra stress on the teams and the chefs.
To keep it?
To keep it, to earn it, to lose it, to whatever. And it's like, it's fucking hard enough to do restaurants as is. And so, you know, adding one more layer of stress for us, it is kind of a hard thing for me. And especially for a new restaurant.
It's really hard for a new restaurant.
It's very, very difficult because you could, you know, it definitely changes the trajectory of what your restaurant looks like.
Are you glad that they're coming here?
I sure am. It's like I said, there's a beautiful thing about it. And there is something to be said about being recognized by that. But it's just
Bib
for
Gourmand?
me.
You could be Bib Gourmand.
Yeah, I'll take a bib. You know, I love wearing bibs. You know, I wear bibs all the time.
It would be good to be recognized, but that is fair. Like the work that once you get it, that is awesome. But then
true work really starts to work. And at that point,
because losing it is, oof.
That's tough.
That's not great.
That's tough.
Sameh, I can't wait to check out Beatty. I'll be there this week, and have a great summer.
Thank
for
you so
being
much
here.
for having me.
Time check. Thanks to Continental Diamond and ContinentalDiamond.com. It's 4:57. Time to upgrade your timepiece or get a great graduation or Father's Day gift. Check out the watch selection at Continental Diamond.
Staples has hundreds of ways to grow your business this spring, like spectacular signs, brilliant brochures, eye-popping posters, mouth-watering menus, and more. Shop now through June 13th and save up to $150 on all your custom prints. Staples. That was easy.
Jason here with a spring and summer recommendation for you. When is the last time that you've had a full body skin checkup? I know it can feel a little intimidating. The first time I went to Tureen Dermatology and had Dr. Mohiba Tureen, who is amazing, my dermatologist, get out like the sort of magnifying scope thing and look you're like, this is a lot. Nobody needs to be looking this close. But the reality is my dad has a history of skin cancer. And when you have that family history, you need to take extra care with your skin. Now, Dr. Tureen was telling me the other day that now as the weather's warming up, just one severe sunburn has been proven to dramatically increase your risk of having skin cancer. So go check it out. 10 locations. They'll get you in within 3 weeks. Amazing. Visit my friends. Book an appointment right now at TureenDermatology.com.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Streaming live via the Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps. This is News Talk 830 WCCO, 1029 HD2, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by DEA Take Back Day.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The Justice Department says a grand jury in Alabama has charged the Southern Poverty Law Center with 11 counts of wire and bank fraud-related charges. The nonprofit group tracks white supremacist and other hate groups across the country. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche says of the payments to the informants.
What the indictment lays out is payments to individuals who had leadership positions within these organizations. If that's what the grand jury found.
The Southern Poverty Law Center's interim president and CEO, Brian Fair, says the DOJ targeted a now defunct program and they will not abandon their mission. President Trump says he's extending a ceasefire with Iran to give more time for negotiations, but will maintain a U.S. naval blockade of Iran's ports. CBS's Ed O'Keefe.
This morning, in a pre-market interview with CNBC, he insists, I'm not extending the ceasefire. Just after the bell rang at 4 o'clock Eastern time, however, he then announces this open-ended ceasefire. So it's yet another day of confusion, not only for the world, but also for Americans here at home, trying to determine how much longer might this conflict continue.
CBS's Charlie D'Agata in Tel Aviv says there's a great deal of American firepower in the region.
To see 3 carriers that are actually moving toward this region and then taking up this region, that is a rare thing indeed. Not one coming in and another one going out, transiting. We're looking at a lot of U.S. military firepower here.
A Democratic Florida congresswoman has resigned from the U.S. House rather than face formal discipline from the chamber as part of an ethics violation. CBS's Allison Keyes reports.
Democratic Florida Congresswoman Sheila Sherfilis McCormick resigned ahead of a House committee hearing as part of a probe into her use of campaign funds, her lawyer says.
It's very sad. She was put in an absolutely terrible position.
Sherfilis McCormick has pleaded not guilty to federal criminal charges accusing her of stealing $5 million in government funding. Another House Democrat and a Republican quit last week amid allegations of sexual misconduct. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
Mexico is demanding answers following a fatal car crash involving Americans after a drug lab raid. Multiple sources have told CBS News the 2 Americans who died in the crash in northern Mexico were employees of the CIA returning from a counter-narcotics operation. 2 Mexican officials were also killed in the incident. CBS's Olivia Gazis.
2 U.S. officials who we have now confirmed to be employees of the CIA met with Mexican officials tied to that operation after it concluded. And while returning from that meeting, their vehicle went off the road and plunged into a ravine, killing 4.
This is CBS News.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, April 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com.
Minnesota's trusted voice every hour. Let's get you caught up with what's happening now on News Talk 830 WCCO.
Sunny and 73 degrees at 5:03. Good evening, I'm Mark Fry. Minneapolis city leaders today discussing a safety plan to improve one particular neighborhood.
Parts of the Uptown neighborhood in Minneapolis have definitely seen a decline over the years with an increase in reports of shots fired, assaults, car thefts. But today, city leaders outlined a plan to change that, in part by expanding the city's ambassador program. So starting November 8th, city employees will be patrolling the area and responding to a dedicated phone line that will run through the city's dispatch system. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey.
What's certain is that the Uptown of the future is going to be dramatically different from the Uptown of the past, but there are a few core things that need to be the same. One of them is the conviction that we need safety on our streets. People need to feel safe. They need to be safe.
In Minneapolis, Susie Jones, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hennepin County Sheriff DeWanna Witt's pushing back against claims her office mismanaged funds as it faces a $9.6 million budget deficit. Witt telling WCCO Radio's Adam and Jordana this morning it's the direct result of the county authorizing staff positions without the funding to pay for them. Witt clarifying that while she's expected to fill 883 positions, current funding only covers 810. And Witt says these jobs are vital to keeping the county safe.
Now is not the time to jeopardize public safety. As I mentioned before, when you're talking about housing, when you're talking about healthcare, when you're talking about bringing back our neighborhoods so that they're safe and vibrant, all of that, public safety has got to be a priority.
A divided Minneapolis City Council has set a date for a final vote on a new pre-eviction ordinance.
The council will vote this Thursday on whether to approve giving renters a 45-day window to catch up on rent in the wake of Operation Metro Surge. This comes after a public hearing and an 8-5 vote by the Committee of the Whole to advance the ordinance. During the hearing, community members largely backed the extension. Ward 8 homeowner Ian Coldwater.
People really do need more time. Mutual aid organizers need more time. Renters need more time. And this is a win for landlords too, because at the end of the day, we're asking the question of whether or not the landlords are getting paid. And ideally, the landlords do get paid.
The decision follows a veto from Mayor Jacob Frey on a previously approved 60-day extension. Taylor Rivera, News Talk 830 WCCO.
And Minnesota Lynx starting to feast at Collier's on the mend after an off-season surgery. The team announcing Collier's recovering on schedule following a March 24th procedure to repair ligament and muscle damage in her left ankle. This comes after Collier endured a string of injuries during last season. The forward now reportedly meeting all of the rehab milestones. Team officials expect her to be resuming on-court activities by early June. It's 5:06, traffic and weather next.
Time to find out how it's moving on the roads and what's moving in via the skies. This is traffic and weather together on CCO, starting with a check of the commute.
Cleanup continues of the multi-car crash for Highway 52 northbound at Plato Boulevard. As a result, highway does remain closed, will be closed till further notice. Could be 7 o'clock or later before things reopen, but just keep that in mind if you're headed that way. Traffic using the ramps to and from Plato and 52. Traveling Highway 36, get ready for slowdowns there. Eastbound Ron Snelling out to White Bear, 694 eastbound, watching slowdowns there as move between Highway 252 and 35E. USPS Route Advantage reliable routes going to be 494 southbound, 94 all the way down to Highway 52. Trey Peterson, News Talk 830 WCCO.
Hungry? Go to Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan for real Texas barbecue. All meats smoked fresh in-house daily. You can dine in, take out, have it delivered, or have your event catered anywhere in the metro. Just go to Dickeys.com. Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader.
Now, the latest conditions and the outlook for the next few days with your CCO forecast.
And the weather is brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit of Egan, the Twin Cities catering leader. Find them at Dickeys.com. Here's Chris Schaefer.
A nice night tonight as we keep a clear sky, falling back to 50. So a mild start tomorrow. And it looks like our warmest day so far this year. Should have a high around 84. Now, it is going to get breezy, and there will be fire danger concerns, especially across western Minnesota. Thursday, finally, some rain showers. Should hit 75 in the afternoon before the rain arrives.
All right, thank you, Chris. Sunny and 73. I'm Mark Fry, News Talk 830 WCCO.
This is your brain. This is your brain on News Talk 830 WCCO. Any questions? He knows news. He knows talk. He knows nonsense, too. So get ready for a lot of each. This is Drive Time with DeRusha, fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Once again, here's Jason DeRusha.
All right, Twins baseball on the air. Pregame starts at 5:30. It's the Twins in New York taking on the Mets. I think Seth is going to be. I'm not sure if Seth is going tonight or tomorrow.
Now shut up and drive.
Where does going to an out-of-town game for your team rank, like in kind of travel/sports experience?
That's a great question. I think to a great degree that depends on where you are going to see them. Queens would not be number one on my list of places to go.
No.
It's nice. I'd rather go to Queens than to Brooklyn, or where are the Yankees? I'm blanking on the Yankees borough.
I don't know where the Yankees. I've been to Yankee Stadium.
I know this, and
they're in the Bronx.
The Bronx. That's it. I knew it was B. There you go.
Yeah.
Because
Citi Field is in Queens.
Yankee fans are much meaner than Mets fans, but Mets fans are still New Yorkers. So, and I definitely wouldn't want to go like to Philly.
Citi Field has much better food. It's right by LaGuardia, which is convenient if you're traveling. But Yankee Stadium's probably a little easier to get to if you're staying in Manhattan.
Maybe.
I've been to both, but never to see my team.
I want to go someplace to see the ball club where you can root for the ball club and not fear that you're going to get punched by another fan. That's really my criteria.
Sound like suburbanites talking about Uptown. I mean, it's not that dangerous out there.
It's not a war zone?
No. And speaking of Uptown, let's get to the DeRusha Hour news headlines.
The headlines you might have missed without missing a beat. This is your fast pass through the biggest and most impactful stories of the day. Welcome to the DeRusha Hour headlines, starting with the lead.
And you heard the news from Mark Fry that the city of Minneapolis is bringing safety ambassadors to Uptown. Minneapolis, along with, well, you notice City Council member Elizabeth Schaefer was a part of this news conference today, including the mayor, Jacob Fry. The Community Safety Ambassador program has been tremendous in downtown Minneapolis, in downtown St. Paul, and council members Aisha Chugtai and Elizabeth Schaefer, who both represent Uptown, they announced last week it was coming, but it's not coming until November. And, well, let's listen to a little bit from the news conference.
We've all got these beautiful, nostalgic memories about what Uptown was 6, 7, 8 years ago, 20 years ago. What's certain is that the Uptown of the future is going to be dramatically different from the Uptown of the past.
And I think that is something that people really should get their arms around. And it's not necessarily a bad thing that Uptown is repositioning itself as a neighborhood for people who live there. The residential population around Uptown is amazing. You've got young people living in apartments. You have immigrants who are creating new businesses and a new life. And you have rich people who live around Bede-Makaska, Lake of the Isles, and all of that. You have recreation, you have entertainment, but it's just, is Uptown a destination for the rest of the area anymore? No. People go to North Loop. 50th and France is maybe a destination. But do you expect the city of Minneapolis to fall over itself to try to recreate a place that you can go to Chino Latino to get drunk on your 21st birthday? I mean, that doesn't make sense. Now, what Uptown does need is to get the open air drug markets out of there and people who are homeless out of there. And safety ambassadors, I think, will be a key part of this. But the fact that it won't start until November, and I get why it takes that long. You got to hire people. You got to find people who want this job. Let's hope. And from what I've been hearing from people who live there, there has been progress in the last 2 weeks in clearing out a lot of the drug users. But let's not let the summer become a nightmare because we're waiting till November. Update from the state capitol as the state patrol shares how the new weapons screening protocol have been going. So far, more than 120,000 people have been screened for weapons at the Capitol. And the results, I don't know. Are you impressed or are you horrified? They've screened 121,598 people. They've turned away 52 weapons, most of which have been knives. But someone tried to bring a camping like those marshmallow skewers, screwdrivers. How many people are walking around? Oh, dang, I forgot about the skewer in my pocket. Is that a screwdriver in your pocket or I think pretty good. They've said the longest wait times have been 15 to 17 minutes. So the wait on checking permits to carry has been the biggest delay for folks because you are allowed to bring your weapon in if you do have a permit to carry. It seems like maybe they need like a special lane or something for that. I love seeing the fact that this Minnesota Wild fan who has the X that used to sit on top of the XL Energy Center has been getting so much attention. John Dusing has this X in his front yard of his Lino Lakes home, and he's set it up. The Twin Cities Pioneer Press, Dane Mizutani, writing about the fact that he's geared it up so every time the Wild scores, it lights up red, the background lights up green, the horn goes, so does smoke and pyrotechnics. He's got to push the button. He can run it from his phone, but it's pretty dang cool. We'll break and go in-depth. College degree, traditional college degree in 3 years. How is one college making this a focus? We'll talk about it coming up.
Drive Time with DeRusha is fueled by Luther Kia of Bloomington. Go see Dan Dingman and the crew today, or always online at lutherkiaofbloomington.com.
This morning I was back in Maple Grove, and Ben from ProTurf pulls up in my front, right in front of my Maple Grove home, to turn on the sprinkler system. It's Jason here. You know I love the results my lawn is seeing thanks to the stewardship of the team at ProTurf. Now is the time for you to take action. ProfessionalTurf.com. Get on the schedule. Lawn care, they're all over it. They're going to prevent weeds. They're going to green up your yard, and they're going to do it in a way that's environmentally responsible and personalized for your yard. They'll come and do an estimate at your house. They're not looking at a Google map. They're seeing where are the shady spots, where are the opportunities, how they're going to make it great. Irrigation system, yeah, Ben fixed like 4 nozzles that were leaky or were broken. And they'll also design a new fire pit for you or a new paver patio. Reach out at Professional Turf. ProfessionalTurf.com.
Growing a brand is hard, but reaching the right customers shouldn't be. Meet Outcomes from Viant. We've built an intelligent platform that handles the complexity of digital advertising for you. Powered by advanced AI, we help your brand show up in the right places at the right time and ensure that every dollar you spend leads to a real business result. It's smarter advertising made simple. Visit Viant.ai.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you! We got a show and it's Guys and Dolls at Chanhassen and Dinner Theaters. It's terrific and delicious because you got dinner and a show. Don't take my word, everybody's loving it. The Pioneer Press called it a must-see. Star Tribune called it eye-popping and blazing with brilliance. I heard a lady from Eden Prairie say this is the best show she's ever seen at the Chan. Grab your doll or your guy. Get your family over here for Guys and Dolls. Visit ChanhassenDT.com.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Don't suffer through foot pain, sore ankles, tired legs, aching back and hips, or sore knees. Call the Good Feet store. The Good Feet Arch Support System is designed to relieve pain and stress in the body with over 350 styles and sizes. Located in Maple Grove, Burnsville, Woodbury, and Roseville. Call 855-554-3338 or stop in for your complimentary fitting. In as little as 40 minutes, you could be walking out pain-free.
Thanks to the Good Feet store.
It's that time of year at By the Yard. Our anniversary sale is here. For a limited time, enjoy 10% off everything store-wide through April 27th. From timeless outdoor furniture to pieces built to last for decades, now's the perfect time to upgrade your space. Visit our showroom or shop online today. But don't wait. Sale ends April 27th. Make the most of the season. And remember, with By the Yard, life is better outdoors.
You're listening to Drive Time with DeRusha.
I think once you lose DeRusha, you've lost the country. A lot of people say that.
On News Talk 830 WCCO.
Rush Hour news headlines going in depth with the idea of completing college in 3 years, a bachelor's degree in 3. Concordia University in St. Paul this week has accreditation approvals for a bunch of new 3-year undergraduate degrees, and we wanted to learn a little bit more as to what that exactly is. Dr. Kimberly Craig, the Vice Provost for the CSP Global Academic Division of Concordia University, is with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
3 years, I think when you look at the amount of money I am currently spending on 2 kids going to 4-year college,
the idea of a 3-year degree is intriguing to me. Explain how this works.
Yeah, so essentially it's the 3-year reduced credit bachelor's degree is a bachelor's degree that you can complete in 90 credits. And the major credits are all the same. We also have general education courses that are the same. And the part that is different is that the students don't take the elective bucket. So those credits, those courses where some students need a little bit more time to explore, to discover, to take additional courses within specific subject areas where they don't necessarily know what career path that this will go to. This 90-degree program essentially takes that away. So this degree program is for students who know exactly what their career trajectory is.
Yeah, I think a fair number of students have been thinking about this since high school. And the degrees you have, what are the new ones that were just approved?
So we started in January, we had exercise science and sport management. And then earlier this month, we just were approved for 7 additional programs. So our business programs, our psychology program, criminal justice, digital marketing, human resource management. So right now we have 9 programs that are approved, and we're really excited about that.
And these are all programs where the demand out there is enormous for new talent and new graduates, right? Is that how you selected these areas to try to craft a program?
Yeah, absolutely. When we were going through the accreditation process and the approval process with the Minnesota State of Higher Ed, we then met with business community leaders. We met with our alumni, with our students, to really get insight on what are those programs that would warrant a 90 credit degree. So we had a lot of external expertise in knowing which programs that we should bring forward first.
You know, you sort of mentioned this isn't for every student, right? There are some students who need to go on an exploratory journey to figure out what they want to major in. But I do think it is super intriguing as we say, okay, what is the future of higher education to make it more focused on kids getting a job and also on the cost? And I know that Concordia University has been looking already. You've reduced or reset your tuition a while ago, but looking at that cost factor, man, it's such a big deal, isn't it?
It is a huge factor for students. When we have incoming students, one of the main reasons why students actually leave higher ed is because they can't afford it. So by offering these 90 credit programs, which reduces their cost by 25%, and in these terms, that's over $12,000. So we are really trying to make education more accessible, more affordable, and we do want to continue to partner with Minnesota employers because they're also looking for talent. So this is a way for students to get in, to graduate a year earlier, and then get into the workforce a year earlier as well.
Dr. Kimberly Craig is the Vice Provost of Concordia University in St. Paul. How come more universities aren't establishing these programs? I know fewer than a dozen have launched these 90 credit programs so far.
You know, we really do have to give the credit to the Minnesota Office of Higher Ed. There was a team of people and institutions working on this initiative for over a year. And Minnesota has really set a national standard by ensuring that, you know, how we deliver these programs, that there's consistency among Minnesota institutions who offer these 90 credit. So I anticipate that there will likely be more institutions that will offer this just based on student demand.
Yeah.
When students essentially, they will go and they will select institutions. So I think the market will drive change for those institutions who might not be seeing this as an option yet.
Makes sense to me. And obviously, parents are going to be interested. I think students too. A lot of students are ready to rock. So, Dr. Craig, thank you so much. Kimberly Craig from Concordia University in St. Paul. Twins baseball on the air here on CCO. Simeon Woods Richardson in New York. We need to get Sim a win. It's been a rocky start, but Royce is back in the lineup. Royce Lewis. So that is good news. So enjoy it. Enjoy the game. And then it's back to playoff Wild in action tomorrow night. We got a lot going on here. It's fun. Enjoy it. I think I'm going to be watching outside. I hope the patio at the Minneapolis Club is open. 5:26. Enjoy the Twins. We'll talk to you again tomorrow at 3. See ya.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by University of Maryland Global Campus.